And the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to another week, everybody, of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. Sam Flannel getting promoted to the show. That's right. He is on the desk. D-Mac down in Florida. He will be back tomorrow, and we'll be back popping with D-Mac. But we do have Sam Flannel, who had a very rough sports weekend. More on that in a moment. You know we have Spencer Raxter here in the building. Spenny, how was the weekend, man?
It was good. Very chill weekend. Didn't do much. Just hang out. Had a good time.
Okay. All right. BMG, Big Mike Gentry. What was your weekend like?
Just chilled. Watched some sports. Nothing too major. How about yourself?
The same. Big win for Detroit City. Stunner on Saturday night. They beat the defending USL champions. Keyworth was popping. It was awesome. It certainly was a lot of fun. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jump into there as well. Detroit Dabber 313 hits us with the what up, though. And Pete Smith says, man, just missed being first. Yes, you did, Pete. Dabber's an institution here in the WoodwardSports.com chat. How was your weekend, Sam Flannel?
Sports-wise, not great. Had a little bit of fun on Sunday. Took the wife and the dog to the park. Took some pictures. That was a lot of fun. That helped ease the pain a little bit. But yeah, that Lakers loss, it was tough.
Oh, the Lakers lost.
They did.
Oh.
That's all right, though. University of Michigan, they had some big games over the weekend, too. The revenge game against TCU in men's tennis. I'm sure that went well, right?
No, but nobody cares about men's tennis.
Oh, they lost.
Yeah.
They did. Well, men's lacrosse played Duke.
A powerhouse Duke.
Yeah. Well, that's right. I forgot. You can only win when you're favorite, right?
Nobody cares
about
about
lacrosse. You can never rise up.
Nobody cares about lacrosse.
Johnny Hopkins does.
Johnny Hopkins certainly
They
does.
lost, too.
Yeah. Me, Johnny Hopkins, and Sloan Kettering.
Yeah.
We're blazing that shit up.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. So, but that wasn't the big Michigan news of the weekend. We'll talk about that at 11:28. I have some questions for Michigan people. For real, I have some questions. And we'll get into that. Chuck Brewer, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Neal, I was told the Lakers never lose at home. That's what we were told. We were told that by you.
Well, factually, in the playoffs, they hadn't until they did. That's why I'm not feeling so great right now, but it's all right. You know what it's all set up for? A 3-0 comeback to add to LeBron's legacy even more. And it's going to happen. No, I'm just kidding. They're done. They're done. I won't go that far.
I got a lot of money coming my way. I'm excited.
You made a stand.
I did.
You took it. And Flannel, it couldn't have went any better for the Lakers in Game 3. They got the 4 early fouls on Jokic. Lots of choppy minutes. Didn't have his best game. It was all set up. It was all set up for him, and they didn't take advantage.
Jamal Murray also had 30 in the first half.
He did.
Went nuclear again.
He did.
And this is going to make a lot of people upset, but as usual, I don't care. These series, particularly the Nuggets and the Lakers thing, can be explained in a lot more simpler terms than I think people really want to understand. It's not, Nikola Jokic went in God mode and Anthony Davis blows like a lot of people
he did in the fourth quarter. When it was all on the line, he did have 15 points in the fourth quarter.
Well, he had to make up for the no-shows in the first two, Game 1 and Game 2 fourth quarters. But anywho, that's not the point. The reason why the Nuggets are dominating this series is it's simple. A little old thing called shooting luck. What shooting luck, you may ask? All right, so let me just go by Jamal Murray, for example.
This is going to be fascinating. Yeah. I can tell already.
Yeah.
It is going to be fascinating. Jamal Murray in the regular season averaged 24 and 6 on 45% shooting and 40% from 3. In this series, he is averaging an absurd 35, 7, and 5 on 52% shooting and 46% from 3. So all of a sudden, is he one of the 10 best NBA players of all time, or are his shots just falling?
Or is he raising his game when it matters the most in the most important time of the year? A time of the year where alternate days Davis has a good game, then vanishes, then has a good game, then vanishes. Could it be that?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned AD, because in this series, he's averaging 29, 14, and 3.
I
blocks,
knew you were
going to
do this, Flannel. Yeah.
All those little things called numbers.
Yeah, and when they're down 20, that's when he pops off. Just like he did the other night in his 40-point game when they were down 20 and it was easy, then it's time for Data Davis to turn it on.
They got it back to within 3. They had a 3-point shot.
They were down 20 and they lost, Flannel.
They were down 20 and they lost, and Anthony Davis was a big part in bringing them back. back.
Bringing them back to lose.
Bringing it back
and
to
he was
lose.
a part of the reason they were down 20 to start the game.
Oh,
they were
give
down
me a
20,
break. Give me
Flannel.
a break. He had 18 at halftime.
It doesn't matter. We don't have to worry about Data Davis. In about, what time is it right now? In about 12 hours, we'll be done with Data Davis. It'll all be over. Like it's always over for him. And you know
2020? I'm not going to let you just let that slide by.
Well, wait a minute. You're a Michigan football fan, right? I was told the COVID year doesn't count.
I never said that.
I was told that.
I never said
Remember
that.
when, hey, that's what I was told, right? What was Michigan? What were they, 2-6 or something like that?
They were awful.
I was told, hey, it's a COVID year. It doesn't matter.
I never said that.
You said that.
I didn't say that. Some of my Michigan brethren fans did say that. I didn't say that.
Like Mike G, who says, just get there, Neal. Go blue. Hey, just get there.
Neal, I know that you're not one of those people that thinks the bubble championship was a fluke. I know that because we've talked about it before. And Anthony Davis gave you 28, 10, and 4 on 57% shooting and 38% from the 3 in the playoff run. That happened. I know a lot of you people don't even want to acknowledge that, but it happened. All you guys have been brainwashed into thinking that Anthony Davis is the most unreliable player of all time, that on every other game he's Tristan Thompson. But that must mean in every good game he's Wilt fucking Chamberlain. Because he has objectively been an excellent playoff player his entire career. And if you guys actually looked at these things called numbers and a championship, you guys would understand that instead of listening to the propaganda. The NBA media and everybody at Woodward Sports has just decided that Anthony Davis is the guy that you don't like. That's all it is. He's been an objectively excellent playoff player his whole career.
Especially when they're down 20.
And bring him back to it.
Especially when they're down 20. That's when it's alternate days' time to shine. All right, we're down 20. Let me grease this brow up, take the jorts off, and get in the game and get it popping.
You're the only person that can just act like 29 and 14 and 3 blocks is just all empty numbers.
It is when you're down 20.
And bringing him back, LeBron had a 3-point shot to tie it, which he missed. Mm-hmm. If that shot goes in...
So you're blaming LeBron?
I'm not blaming LeBron.
Saturday night, they had at one time free throws were like 27-10, and they couldn't win the game.
Yeah.
They couldn't win the game. They're not good enough, Flannel. They're not as good as Jokic and the Nuggets. They're just not.
They're not. And
Data Davis is a big reason why.
No.
Because there is a large gap. There's a large gap between Jokic and alternate days. A large gap.
There's a gap. There is a large gap at this point.
Okay.
But it's
Thank you.
It's
So
more
you
about
agree.
shooting luck. Okay.
So tone it down.
I'm not going to tone it down.
You just agreed. Did you not just agree?
I agree that Jokic
Great
is better than
talk.
Davis. Oh my God, hot take,
Yeah.
hot take. Nobody thinks Anthony Davis is better than Nikola Jokic. Nobody.
Okay.
Not now.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Ryan's reaction wants to know, Flannel, can you define the word luck, please?
Is that
Okay.
lucky?
That is bad. That is a bad choice of outfits. Let me define shooting luck, which I never actually got a chance to do.
Can you define those jorts?
No, I can't.
What about the tube socks?
I've never defended that outfit.
Look at that outfit, man.
That's tough.
Okay. Jamal Murray in the regular season shot 40% from 3. In this series, he's shooting 46%. Nikola Jokic in the regular season shot 35% from 3. Nikola Jokic is shooting 46% in this series. Michael Porter Jr., who's an excellent three-point shooter, shot 41% from 3 in the regular season, 48% in this series. Contavious Caldwell-Pope shot 42% from 3 in the regular season and 45% from 3 in this series. And Bruce Brown, 36% in the regular season and 40% from 3 in this series. And it actually goes deeper than that, but I'm not going to bore you with all the numbers, unless you guys really, really want me to, because I could go all day.
No, just tell me what he is when they're down 20.
Did I even mention Anthony Davis
Oh,
in
you
that
didn't?
soliloquy
I
at
wasn't
all?
listening, so I don't know. I wasn't
Of
listening.
course you weren't, because you don't want to listen, because those are
No,
some
there's no
things
need
called
to
facts.
listen. Because,
Yeah, there is need to listen.
Because the Lakers are around for about 10 and a half more hours.
See what a real MVP looks like, Sam?
Oh boy, I can't wait.
That's what a real MVP
That's
looks
right.
like. That's
On
what
the
a real
horse farm?
MVP looks like.
There he is, right
Oh,
there,
yeah.
Flannel.
When have I ever
Drink that in.
When have I ever denied that Nikola Jokic isn't deserving of MVPs? I've never said that. Not once. He's got 2, and he deserved 2, and that's fine. But you all act like because he didn't three-peat, which is something LeBron, Michael Jordan, Kareem, and Magic Johnson never did, that everybody just disrespects him. Everybody knows that Nikola Jokic is great. He's going to win a Finals MVP.
Ryan's reaction says, I bet you Sam Flannel pays a higher APR than me on everything he buys. Oh, man. I love that. Gus Alfaro, he knows the drill. Joker over Davis anytime.
Duh.
Sam Flannel equals bozo.
And I agree with you. but the gap isn't as wide as you think. And Anthony Davis has had he's been great in the playoffs his career, and he's had a very good series.
Joe Banuch, Sam Flannel, Lakers apologist, LOL. And I wanted to have some fun with it because we're not doing a deep dive breakdown of the game or anything like that. But just know, like, you see this Sam Flannel, that's the Sam Flannel you get in the text thread too. Because this is how it works, Ben Mo, and you can attest to this. And our little text thread we have. You guys have known me long enough now. You know when there's a poke the bear text out there, and it usually works 8 times out of 10, sometimes 10 times out of 10. And then every time Sam Flannel takes the bait, like he's a tarpon down in the ocean off Miami, every single time he does.
Let me clear something up really quick because I don't usually give this too much mind, but Brandon Katz says Jordan did three-peat. That's wrong. I'm not talking about championships. I'm talking about MVPs. I obviously know that Jordan three-peated because I'm not a fucking idiot, because everybody knows that. Come on.
Denver Blair says the Lakers don't suck. They just aren't good enough to win. And that's fair.
The Nuggets are a better team, and they're shooting lights out from three. All those guys are shooting well over 40% from three, and that matters.
Kind of like the Lakers don't have any perimeter defenders.
Yeah, you could try to defend it and alter it.
Yeah.
But I guess not.
Who's the Lakers' best perimeter defender? Jared Vanderbilt? Probably Michael Beasley, and he doesn't even play. Not Michael Beasley.
I'm not saying that it's all luck. I'm just saying the Nugget shots are falling. And let me give you the reverse of that. D'Angelo Russell in the regular season for the Lakers shot 41% from three, and he's given you 14.3% in this series. And you know what? I'll give you guys what you guys want. Even my favorite player and the GOAT, LeBron James, who's in year 20, age 38, in the regular season, 32% from three. In this round, 16%. So a lot of it has to do with who's hitting their shots and who's not. I even gave you a little LeBron James criticism.
They could try defending, too.
It's not...
They could try it, though,
Who's
right?
their best perimeter defender?
Probably Vando.
Yeah.
Doesn't get a lot of minutes.
No.
I'm actually surprised.
They could try it, though, Flannel. Like, maybe try it tonight? I don't know.
We'll see.
Maybe not.
I think they're actually going to win tonight. I do think they're going to win tonight.
I wouldn't be surprised if they won, but...
Well, yeah. I'm sure Data Davis will have 40 and 30, too.
And you'll act like it was no big deal, even if he gets 40 and 30. It is a big deal.
Because he'll go back to Denver and get cooked, and it'll be over.
Get cooked. I don't know what your definition of getting cooked is, but like I said, the NBA media and all people here have just decided that Anthony Davis sucks. First ballot Hall of Famer, 8-time All-Star, 4-time first-team All-NBA, NBA champion, averaging 28, 10, and 4 on 57% shooting and 38% from three in the playoff run. That, to me, sounds like a top 50 NBA player of all time, but people kill me for that.
Every other game, he's great.
And then every other game, he must be prime Wilt Chamberlain because those numbers are elite. Those are some of the best.
You just wonder which one you're going to get.
So
you have to wonder what Data Davis you're going to get tonight. You have to wonder.
So you basically give me that every other game he's prime Wilt Chamberlain. And
No, because you know what Jokic is going to give you. You know.
Yeah.
Like Saturday night was a baseline. He had 15 in the fourth quarter and shut down the club.
And Jamal Murray has given you 35, 7, and 5 on 52% shooting and 46% from three in this series.
And look, there could be a little, he's on a run right now.
Yeah.
There could be a little to that. But you know what Jokic is going to give.
Jamal Murray always balls in the playoffs.
But
yeah,
he
has been, yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Jamal Murray elevates all of his numbers and his efficiency in the playoffs, but not 35, 7, and 5. That's insane. He couldn't miss.
I did like Brooks Koepka winning the PGA Championship, by the way. And I do, and look, the media stuff is real. Like, there is a real media bias to stuff, especially in sports, in this town and everything like that. There is. I mean, people are human. How can there not be?
Yep.
But the PGA Tour media, they understand the assignment.
Oh, yeah.
Live guy won the major. Hey, did you see this Club Pro guy?
Yep.
Hey, this Club Pro guy made a hole in one.
It's so annoying. I'm so pissed about people that get mad over the live guys. Like, let them get their money. Why are you so fucking pissed about it? It's ruining the sanctity of golf. Like, get over it, bro.
He took a 25% pay. He won a live event last month, and then won the major PGA Championship. It took a 25% pay cut to do it. And by the way, he's got the third most majors since the year 2000. Since right around the time Michigan football stopped being relevant.
Oof. I can't comment on Michigan football.
I guess more on them later, right?
More on Michigan football later, by the way. But there is a Lions thing I do want to get to next segment. And I am a little bit heated about it. Because, and look, I get the why. I get the why. I understand the why, but it doesn't make it right. It doesn't. Let me tell you what is right. Working out at Planet Fitness. We are home here at Woodward Sports in the Planet Fitness studios. Planet Fitness, $10 a month, access to your home club. Boom, they got everything you need in Planet Fitness. Just came from there about an hour and 15 minutes ago, as a matter of fact. Got the cardio in today, did some lifting as well, and you could do that. Army of treadmills, tons of weights, everything you need. I've been a member at Planet Fitness for 3 years. I've never had to wait for anything, like a machine, weights, none of it. I've always just gotten to work out on everything I want to work out on. It's very, very simple, everyone. Access to your home club, $10 a month. You want to be a baller and a shot caller? The Black Card, $24.99 a month. You get access to every Planet Fitness in the world. That's it. That's all. Do anything you want to do in there. The tanning, the hydro massage, all of it. It's all out there for you. Go to planetfitness.com, pull in the parking lot on the way home. You can join up there as well. It's all there for you. Don't forget the high school summer pass as well. Planet Fitness allowing high schoolers ages 14 to 19 in the U.S. and Canada to work out for free all summer long from May 15th to August 31st. Go to planetfitness.com for more information. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Sam Flannel, Spencer Racksta, BMG, Big Mike Gentry here in the building as well. Our guy Parker training over there on the ones and twos as well.
Another one of my disciples.
We're becoming a network full of Spencer disciples.
Yep.
Spenmo Rax's offspring in the production game. Alex Merrill. Bro, Neal, why you got to be such a Michigan hater? Just bringing them up every chance you get when they aren't even close to the topic. LOL. You need sports marketing agency. What do you mean we're close to the topic? We talked about men's tennis being in the NCAA tournament against TCU, where they lost. We talked about lacrosse playing Duke, where they lost. We talk about how every time they're on a big stage, they lose.
On the national stage, yeah.
And there's a different Michigan topic we're going to get to, and it's in the news, and we will discuss. But there's also something that popped off about the Lions. I will qualify this when we go in. I am a Penei Sewell simp.
So am I.
A simp.
He's my favorite player on the team by far.
Mine too.
Yeah.
No debate. No debate for me. And I would say it is on Brad Holmes' level. Dare I say more?
Yeah.
It goes back and forth. I will say this. Like my and the reason is simple. Penei Sewell, I think, was the one that led the charge for this change in the Lions organization. You've heard me talk about this before. He shows up on the scene. Nick Bosa gets up in his face, and he ain't having it. Aaron Donald gets up in his face, and he ain't having it. And for far too long, we were always, the bitch organization. Always. And I was starved for the day. And Dominican Sue was the last one.
Sure.
That said, you're not playing with me. You do what you want, but you ain't playing with me. And that's the vibe I get from Penei Sewell. The rankings came out, right, Spenmo?
Yeah, per PFF.
Per Pro Football Focus. Top 25 offensive tackles under the age of 25. Tristan Wirfs at 1, Rashawn Slater 2, Andrew Thomas 3, Penei Sewell 4, and who else do we have on
Christian
that?
Darrisaw, number 5.
That's right. So it got to me where I don't want to say this triggered me, but it triggered me a little bit because, number one, I believe this to be, and look, I work in fact. I know that the following, however, is an opinion. but I do believe that it is shared by a lot. The NFL Hall of Fame committee should start making Penei Sewell's gold jacket now, because cost of materials are only going to go up. It's only going to get more expensive. He's going into the Hall of Fame. Period. End of story. He is a Hall of Famer. Loading. Flannel. I will go so far as to say, not only was he underranked in the tackles under 25, I would say he's in the conversation of one of the best tackles in the game. In the game, Flannel. Well, and look, we talk about he made Jamal Williams have a career year.
He helped.
He's walking into the end zone. Penei Sewell's at the top of the L in Lions in the end zone from the 1 yard line, taking his guy and pushing him that way.
Yeah, that way.
Into the end zone, 6 yards deep. This guy's a monster. And look, I know how this works. You don't get the shine until you start winning. And the Lions are the story, and they're not going to get that run yet. But Penei Sewell's a monster, Flannel. A monster.
He certainly is a monster, and I agree with a lot of what you said. Although, to be fair, I think if you're Tristan Wirfs, Rashawn Slater, Andrew Thomas, or Christian Darrisaw, you could also have that conversation that they are going to be Hall of Famers someday. And when lists like that come out, I know you're a Penei Sewell simp, Neal. I know you are too, Spencer. I know we all are, and we all love what he's done. But I don't just fall for the whole, why are they disrespecting us? I think to myself, why is he ranked that way? So I dug into it a little bit. So per PFF, when you were ranking all of these players, what they did in their last healthy season, I grade Rashawn Slater for 2021 because he only played 3 games in 2022.
Oh, yeah.
Christian Darrisaw was the highest rated out of all of them. Penei Sewell was 5th. Those are just the PFF numbers. When it comes to pass blocking, Tristan Wirfs was number 1. Penei Sewell, 5. When it comes to run blocking, Christian Darrisaw 1, Penei Sewell 2, which is very, very good. Obviously, Penei Sewell is great, but I'm not really in my feelings about him not being ranked number 1 on this list. And oh, by the way, Tristan Wirfs has made a first-team All-Pro and a second-team All-Pro. Rashawn Slater has made a second-team All-Pro. Andrew Thomas has made a second-team All-Pro. Penei Sewell has not, neither has Christian Darrisaw, but Christian Darrisaw was the highest rated tackle on this list last year. So to me, Penei Sewell has been great, but so have all of these players.
None of those other players have to turn around a franchise.
Okay,
but
but
none of them have to turn around a franchise. Flannel, you can dismiss that all you want, dude.
I am dismissing
Look at him
that.
play. Look at him play and tell me before he got here until he got here. And tell me the difference, Flannel. Give that look on the camera. You can't deny it.
Okay.
You can't deny. He's dealing with more than any of those guys had to deal with.
I am not denying that, but he also had Frank Ragnow, Jonah Jackson, Taylor Decker on his line. He made a very good offensive line elite, and he did that. But all this idea that Penei Sewell is basically Orlando Pace and Prime Trent Williams. No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Get the fuck out of
because
here.
he does. Because he doesn't play the position.
You
Flannel.
have no objectivity to that. You're a simp.
Decker's playing the glory position right now.
Oh, my God.
He's playing the glory position.
Oh.
When Penei Sewell slides over there and does it, and look, by the way, too, like Alex Haggerty says, Sewell hasn't given up a sack to Bosa, Donald, Parsons. That's pretty damn
Wonderful.
good.
Amazing.
And it will only continue.
Great.
It will only continue.
All right, but are you saying that, but if I told you that Rashawn Slater, Tristan Wirfs, Andrew Thomas, and Christian Darrisaw should get their gold jackets loaded, you'd be like, oh my God, you're crazy.
You do, after playing 3 games in a season.
Yeah, but Rashawn Slater was an all-pro
After playing
his rookie
3
year.
games in a season?
Okay, but in 2021,
So
he
it's
was an
fair to have
all-pro.
questions in.
That is fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
You know who there are no questions about?
What
question? What question?
That he's ranked 5th among these 5 players.
Can he play? Is that the question?
Play. He's great. He's amazing. I've never denied that. But so are all these other guys.
Well, yeah,
the list is interchangeable.
Again,
is what
like
I'm
Data
saying.
Davis. In a season where they play more than 3 games.
Anthony
they've been
Davis
great.
is a hell of a better NBA player than Penei Sewell is NFL player, and that is not
please.
are you kidding me?
Please.
Oh, stop it.
Please.
Oh, my God. You guys are insane. The Penei Sewell love and the Neal propaganda has broken your guys' brains, broken your brain, broken everybody's brain.
Penei Sewell will never show up in jorts and a sweater at a game. Never. Never will he do that.
That's true.
Even if he is hurt and doesn't play, he won't show up looking like this. That right there makes him better.
Oh, stop it. That's the argument
Flannel,
you guys go to
look
when you don't
at
have
that.
one. I get it. That was bad. But it's what he did when he was hurt. I don't give a shit what you wear on the sidelines when you're hurt. It's a bad look. That is a bad fashion choice, but that shouldn't. People have used that to disqualify his whole career. And for the record, I know a lot of people are going to say Sam hates Penei Sewell. I don't. He's phenomenal. My point is that this list is more interchangeable than you guys might think. I have no outrage whatsoever that he's not ranked number 1. 0. He absolutely deserves to be top 5, maybe top 3. I wouldn't even be that mad if he was number 1. But this idea that you guys are outraged.
Wait till he moves to left tackle.
Okay.
Wait till he moves to left tackle.
And I hope he does become that gold jacket guy because his success
he's in the
success.
process right now.
Okay, so are all these other guys.
He is absolutely in the process. Steve Wild says, Sam, quit pouting like a baby. Do you feel as though you're pouting like a baby?
I'm not pouting.
I don't think he's pouting.
I'm just giving a few numbers.
Jack Harrington, why are you mad about the Lakers, Sam? Is your anger about the Lakers permeating into other stuff that we talk about?
No. That's. I mean, I'm not happy about the Lakers, but I can do this thing called compartmentalizing. I do it every single day. I'm just saying that the Lions and Penei Sewell fans should not cry, "Help me, I'm poor," because he's not ranked number 1 on this list. He's on the list. He's phenomenal. He's going to be a multi-time Pro Bowler, probably an All-Pro.
Woodward
so are these other guys.
WoodwardSports.com chat poll. It's Penei Sewell, a top 3 offensive tackle in the NFL. 77% of you say yes.
You guys have lost your goddamn minds.
6% say no.
Neal's a propagandist. That's all he is.
Yeah,
He's not a top 3
I don't think he's a top 3 tackle in the NFL.
Thank you, Spenny.
Maybe right tackle.
Sure.
And that's what the minute Lane Johnson retires, I think Penei Sewell's got first team All-Pro on lock if he stays at right tackle.
But he won't, though.
Rashawn Slater, he's going to be battling him. But no, I mean, and that's the thing. I'm not a hater, but the top 3 offensive tackle in the NFL, you guys are crazy.
I think we're onto something here because Giovanni Mosheri says when you start the show with a flannel Lakers roast, he's going to be on edge all day, even with Penei Sewell. So this isn't me. This is coming in real time right now.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to add a little bit of objectivity, which, to be fair, Neal, you already said you don't have. You don't have objectivity when it comes to Penei Sewell. What he is one of the best young tackles in the NFL. He's not the best, and he's certainly not top 3 in total offensive tackles. You're high if you think that right now.
Brandon Katz actually made a good point in the Woodward Sports chat. I'm not going to lie. He said Penei Sewell is a tier below Trent Williams and Lane Johnson. He's but he's clearly a tier below them, which... Yeah, I mean, those are the 2
Lane
best
Johnson's
tackles.
the best tackle in the game.
Yeah, Trent Williams and Lane Johnson are the best tackles in the NFL.
Yeah,
Penei Sewell's not there yet, but he's still young.
He's going to be sooner than he's not going to be.
He will. Yeah, he will be there.
And again, I just go by the little things, right? Every time they have the ball at the 1-yard line and it's a rushing touchdown, Penei Sewell is 6 yards into the end zone. Keep an eye on it this year.
Fair.
Keep an eye on it. Every goal line situation. And you watch Penei Sewell. And I don't see, all your guys you're talking about, where are their 3rd and 7 completions? And I know I know that you're pre-programmed because you hate Tom Kennedy and TK85, who basically won the game in New York, even though you give him no credit whatsoever.
Daniel Jones having
basically won the game in New York with big 3rd down conversion catches. I understand.
I'd say the defense absolutely dismantling Saquon Barkley won that game for the Lions.
Well, Tom Kennedy, 3rd down conversions, though. We'll never know. Yeah, if we would only know if Tom Kennedy didn't. Hey, Tom Kennedy.
You know what? Your argument has more validity if you're talking about the Bears game, because Tom Kennedy did make probably the biggest catch of the game. And I will admit
Man, he's been a big part of a couple games last year.
All 8 catches. Man, I wish I could get that much love for being that mediocre at my job, although some people might say that I am, but we're not going to.
I was going to say. Your check clears, doesn't it?
Yeah, my check clears.
Yeah, absolutely. Jesse Adams, Neal, can you tell these people saying that Jake Long is better is wild? What? I missed that.
What?
People saying Jake Long was better than Sewell. That's
probably Mike G.
It probably was.
Jake Long was very, very good.
Jake Long was very good, for sure.
But he had a short peak, I'll say that.
Yeah.
We hope that Penei Sewell is better than Jake Long, and I think he will be, for the record, before the pitchforks come out at me.
I just agreed with Brandon Katz, and he said my takes are bad. So what does that say about him?
Brandon Katz is the Anthony Davis of the chat.
He is.
Like you sometimes you get a good comment from him.
I wouldn't give him that much credit.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah.
But you never know. when he fires it off, you never know. It's a lot like Data Davis.
Does he average the chat equivalent of 26 and 11 in his playoff career? Probably not.
Especially when he's down 20. Then he really turns it on.
Which they cut to 3.
When they're they cut to 3. Cool.
It only doesn't matter when it's a guy that you don't like, Neal.
No, it's a factual observation.
Okay, but they came. It was a close game in large part because Anthony Davis brought them back.
Except when they were down 20. It wasn't a close game then.
Yeah, but he helped make it a close game.
Okay. Sports marketing agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast is called This is the S Word. Helps address the stigma associated with seeking help. Let's be real, everybody. That is out there. There is no doubt about it. If you're struggling or someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Thesportsma.com. The sports marketing agency. They're here to help.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Sam Flannel in for DMAC. DMAC will be back tomorrow. We have BMG, Big Mike Gentry over on the sound booth. And, of course, we got Spenmo Racks on the ones and twos, mixing and scratching. Flannel, I did want to get into this because it was big-time news, and I already know what everybody's going to do, and I don't care because, again, I deal in fact. Michigan football announced that Shemi Schembechler, who was hired, and mark me on this, was hired by Michigan football to do
help direct in recruiting. Right?
Help direct in recruiting.
Yeah.
Okay, Shemi Schembechler, who is the
son of Bo.
The son of Bo Schembechler. Okay, that's the factual stuff. So come to find out, Shemi Schembechler ended up resigning, right? That's the terminology.
Sure.
He resigned.
Yeah.
That was it. After it came to light, after he got hired, lots of likes on, shall we say, racially questionable tweets. I think that's the best way to say it. It's out there. If you want to go look at it and draw your own conclusions from it, that's fine. Because while it's material to the story, it's not material to my point. I have a very simple question for the Michigan people out there. Very simple question. What is it with Bo Schembechler? What is it? You bring his son back? Look, Bo Schembechler, right? Suspected scumbag, right?
Absolutely.
Is that fair?
That's
You're a Michigan
more than
fan.
fair. That's
I'm
more than
going to
fair.
keep this 100 with everybody. That's fair, right?
More than fair.
Suspected scumbag, right?
Highly
and
suspect.
bigger than that. And I'm not even getting into that. You guys know my stance on this. 2-8 in the Rose Bowl, which you will never see another football coach ever be 2-8 major bowls. Because guess what'll happen to them?
They'll be gone.
They'll be fired. Absolutely. What is it with Bo Schembechler and look, Jim Harbaugh's got it cooking for Michigan right now.
He does.
Right?
Yes.
They're actually beating Ohio State for a change. They're getting to the playoff. Now they're getting waxed once they get there, but they are getting there. And I don't understand this grip, this pull, this Schembechler stuff. A mid coach. In terms of national relevance, mid. He's got a 2-8 in the Rose Bowl. Flannel, dispute it.
I can't.
Dispute it.
I'm not disputing that record.
Okay. The statue, all that stuff. What is it with this guy? Who would hire this guy? Why? Why, when you're trying to distance yourself from the alleged damage that he has done to the Michigan brand, why would you do that?
Yeah, that's more where I'm coming at it from. The idea that Bo Schembechler is way more than likely a very, very bad guy. We'll just leave it at that. because you were right. Michigan football between 2014 and 2019 had lost 15 out of 16 to Ohio State. And from 2005 to 2020, they didn't win a single Big Ten championship. And to be fair, Michigan football in the past couple of years has got it humming again. 2 consecutive double-digit wins over Ohio State, 2 consecutive Big Ten titles.
Why go to the Schembechler name and do this through all the issues that have come up about that? Why would you do that? I mean, either you're just obtuse or you're ignorant. One of the two things. Why would Michigan do that, Flannel?
It is unfathomable to me because it just looks like Michigan football is getting in their own way. I mean, speaking of Michigan football, the 2023 team looks very, very good, looks to at least have an advantageous setup, have a lot of talent. They could win the Big Ten
That's a
again.
weird way of saying an easy schedule, but
okay, that's
go
fair,
on.
but they have a lot of talent, a lot of players returning. And in 2024, as of right now, I don't know if it's going to continue, have the number 1 recruiting class led by Jaden Davis. They have it humming in a way that they haven't since the late 1990s. So bringing back a Schembechler when I think at the very least they should try to distance from Bo Schembechler. I think they are a little bit, but not as much as they should. It's just getting in your own way. Michigan football is back on track, and now they're in the news for all the wrong reasons, and I'm very, very frustrated.
I don't understand the logic and the reason you would do that. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, LFG. Did Ernie Harwell wrong? And that's the top of my list. Never forget when Bo Schembechler fired Ernie Harwell. Never forget, because he did.
I mean, I don't think that's the worst of his sins, but it's...
I do. Well, that or 2-8 in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, 2-8 in the Rose Bowl was
But
bad.
Robert 360, Bo coach Rose Bowl winners. Can you, Neal Ruhl? F no. Okay, Rob. Hey, you know what? Give me 10 cracks at it. I'll win twice too.
I mean, I guess that is in terms of his coaching, the counter argument. To be fair, he did win or share 13 Big Ten championships. He did get to 10 Rose Bowls, although losing the vast majority of them prevented them from being higher when it comes to national relevance and maybe getting a natty of his own, which he did not win, to be fair.
Answer 14, certainly not a good look. Come on, University of Michigan. And that's my question. Yeah. And again, we get back to this, Flannel. We've kind of drilled down on this, where I've said I expect more out of Michigan than you guys do, than Michigan fans do. I expect more. And for them to do this, just what's the why? The why? What is the love affair with this?
There is no why that I can conceivably understand.
Because he was like a scout with the Raiders, got fired from there.
Got fired from there.
Why?
At this point, you have to distance yourself from Bo Schembechler. And like I said, I think they've started to, but the statue is still up. And I know this isn't a completely linear comparison because obviously what happened with Joe Paterno at Penn State, Jerry Sandusky was still alive and he was actually convicted, but he had a son on the coaching staff, Jay Paterno, and ever since that whole thing came to light and Joe Paterno was fired, Jay Paterno never coached again. I'm not, and that's probably what you need to do for Schembechlers at this point. No more Schembechler spawns at Michigan at this point.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Pete Smith, who's a Michigan alum, by the way, Michigan graduate, said it's almost on the same level as Joe Paterno level. That's his talk about Bo Schembechler, and he's an alum.
Yeah.
Pete Smith also said Bo's Rose Bowl winning percentage is the same as Brandon Inge's batting average.
That's a little bit. I think Brandon Inge hit a little bit higher than that. It's a little bit lower than Spencer Torkelson's batting average, though. That's actually fair.
ACAV says, Neal, it's because they can. They couldn't care less about optics. I'm a Michigan fan, by the way. But again, ACAV, the why? I'm still because they can. But what's the payoff for it? Like again, every day when I make decisions every day of my life, right? I go, this is the positive, this is the negative to it. If it was like 1% positive and 99% negative, I'm not going to make that decision.
No. The bottom line is Michigan better hope, and I think they will for the record, but they better hope that they keep it humming like they have the last couple of years and continue that success and accomplish the things in 2023 like all Michigan fans hope that they will and continue it into 2024, or else we're... I'm not out. There's Jim Harbaugh on the screen. Yeah, and Jim Harbaugh better accomplish these things, and he becomes higher up on the list of Michigan coaches than Bo Schembechler.
And I knew it was going to devolve into this. I knew it would because it always does. Brandon says, it's a bad take to say Bo Schembechler was unsuccessful because of his record in the Rose Bowls. He was 234-65 in a very tough Big Ten. When was that Big Ten very tough?
Yeah, I wouldn't say the Big Ten was very tough. And
The Big Ten now is better than the Big Ten was back then, and it's awful now.
Well, and Brandon, to be fair, I actually agree with a lot of what you're saying, that you can't say that Bo Schembechler wasn't a good coach. And at this point, he is the most accomplished coach in modern Michigan history. Most accomplished.
Harbaugh's a better coach.
Harbaugh already is more accomplished.
Harbaugh's better. Lloyd Carr was better. And that's just recently.
You could argue Lloyd Carr, but Jim Harbaugh, he needs to keep it going for another couple of years, and then he no doubt passes him, especially if he wins a natty, which I think he could in 2023 for the record. Different discussion for a different day.
Pete says all they had to do was open Google and search him. And that, like, look, I will say this, like from the university perspective, this is fair. Somebody brought this up earlier, and this is fair, and this is how that works at that level, right? Because Jim Harbaugh is above the law at Michigan.
Sure.
I'm above the law.
He is. 100% he is. He's above the law at Michigan. He can do what he wants. And I'm for that. You know that, Flannel.
Sure.
I'm for that. He's the one that has turned the program around from what it was. They're not nationally relevant, like championship relevant. But, they're pretty good, I guess. They're pretty good here in the Big Ten, which is fine. Fine regional football conference. It's fine. Once they get out of that little region, it's been a struggle. Is that fair?
That is fair, but what's also fair is if you would have told me after that 2020 season that they would rebound with 2 consecutive Big Ten championships, 2 consecutive Ohio State wins, I would have taken that. And now it's time for them to take the next step, obviously. But he did turn them around back into what better than they've been since the late 1990s.
Right. So, and that's fine. But again, I'm just going back through it. Those guys are better football coaches than Bo Schembechler was.
In a vacuum, I would say Lloyd Carr.
And far better people. And I don't even know a lot about them as people.
That's fair.
That is
and
fair.
Harbaugh's weird.
He's a weirdo.
He's a weirdo.
But he seems like a cool, like a good guy.
A better person than Bo Schembechler.
That's setting the bar pretty low, but yeah.
That's what we're talking about here.
That's fair.
And I don't get it. I'll never understand the love affair to the point where you bring. Did it bring shame upon the program this weekend? I feel like it did.
Well, the thing is, they hired him, and then 3 days later, he was gone. So it must have. And that's the thing. At this point, I said this earlier, you have to just keep Schembechlers out of the program, especially Schembechler was a very mediocre NFL scout, basically. Why?
If you get fired from the Raiders, you know something's going on.
Hire, Nick Smith, random guy. I don't care. Just don't hire Schembechler. And then 3 days later, he's got to go.
His first name's Shemi? Like, is that his actual name?
I actually don't know.
That right there. Schembechler.
Is it a nickname?
Isn't that enough of a red flag without a background check?
My first name was Raxy.
Raxy.
Yeah, like... That's just terrible.
I'm actually curious if anybody in the chat knows that. Is it maybe?
There's no way that's his actual name.
Is he maybe like Bo Schembechler Jr. and he became Shemi? I actually don't know.
There's no way that's his actual name.
I don't think it is, for the record, but I can't find the actual proof of that.
And again, just kind of relating it, reading The Athletic, like Chris Vanini and the headline of his story, Michigan leadership continues to embarrass itself after the Schembechler mess. Yeah. Like, that's the weekend that Michigan football had.
And that should not be the weekend Michigan is having right now. All that should be talked about is how exciting this upcoming football season should be, how their recruiting class for 2024 is looking damn good. And now we're talking about a Schembechler. It's just getting in your own way. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And we shouldn't have to be talking about this. But Michigan, they effed up. I'll admit that. They 100% effed up with this.
We seem to say that a lot lately.
That's fair.
Burns says Michigan should have won 6 national championships after World War II if Bo wasn't such a choke artist. Be careful, Burns. Someone's going to come after you for stating a fact.
They definitely left 1 on the table when they lost to, I think, 3 lost Stanford after having a dominant season.
Where do you get your haircut, Sam?
Lady Jane's, of course. Thank you very much. I actually got it cut over the weekend. Has me looking real good, as always, because all the stylists do such a wonderful job. Walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not 1, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, 1 for you and 1 for your wife, girlfriend, or best bud. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots, he scores!
With 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry. Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community, giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Jump and Puck. Saturdays, 1 p.m. on woodwardsports.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Sam Flannel in for D-Mac. We also have BMG, Big Mike Gentry in the house as well. Raxy Raxter here also on the ones and twos. Is that what we're going with? Raxy Raxter?
My friends used to call me Spengay in high school, so it's better than that.
All right. Aaron Raymond says his first name is Glenn. Well, that was Bo's first name too, right?
Yes, so that's kind of like what I thought, that he's a junior and he just goes by Chevy.
I
don't know why you would do that. I don't know why in the hell you would do that.
He could go by BJ Schembeckler. That's better. I'd go by BJ for sure.
Instead, you're Raxy.
Yeah, I guess I'm Raxy.
Raxy Raxter. So there it is. So yeah, that's okay. Coach Rishi 22 says women's tennis at Michigan is pretty dope, right? Until they play Georgia, a lot like some of the other programs at Michigan.
Stop trolling. Don't give them any ammunition. Come on, man.
I'm just reading what the people say. They were talking about women's tennis.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying whoever said that in the chat. Come on now. You're not helping.
They were good until they played Georgia,
and nobody cares about women's tennis.
Men's tennis, they were good until they played TCU.
Men's tennis either.
Nobody does care about men's. No tennis of any kind, at least at the collegiate
level.
Yeah.
You guys would have if they'd have won.
I wouldn't.
Yes, you would have.
No,
you would click like on a post. There would be a post for N Live that they won the champ, and there'd be 2,000 likes, and everyone would be like, go blue, leaders and bets, go blue.
That might actually be true, but I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't click like.
You would too. Don't lie, Sam Flannel.
I'm not lying. I am the minister of truth. I don't lie.
You want to see what the minister of truth actually looks like?
I can't.
Yes, I do. What do we have here?
Jesus Christ. Oh, man.
You can't forget about that.
Yeah, and this is the originator.
Man, it's a really good thing that my self-esteem is a lot higher than it was even 5 years ago.
Shout out to Jeff Ifrady for that one.
Jeff,
that's a good one.
Jeff, that's a good one. I'll give you credit for that. Damn.
Mike G says flannel is a thriller. Everyone is rolling right now. Rolling right now.
It's going right to the top.
Stephen Baffy. All I know is that the Big Ten has 4 of the top 10 schools that have NFL players, Hall of Fame players. U of M is 3rd. So Neal can shut up with his U of M hate and crusade. Man, you would think that you should probably win some national titles with all that NFL talent. I wonder what the problem is.
Well, that's kind of how you should look at it. If you have that many NFL players, that's the argument that I had for Juwan Howard at Michigan. Not to like bring them into it, but they had two first-round NBA players. Hunter Dickinson, you didn't even make the tournament. If you have that much talent, you should win more national championships than they have. Or at least in terms of college basketball, make the freaking tournament.
Denver Blair says, please put it back up real quick. There it is. Oh, man. We'll have to bust that one back out for Halloween.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Oh, there it is. I don't know where you go from that. There's not really a lot of places you can go, but I will do the best I can. Jack Harrington says you guys nailed that picture. That was a great catch. You said Juicy J caught that one?
Shout out to Jeff.
Shout out Jeff Ifrady.
Yeah, that is that. Stephen Baffy, that is fair, Neal. I will give you that. The coaching there is overrated. You have a point with Schembeckler. That was the only thing I was driving at, man. I just don't understand the love affair, and I never will.
Overrated, I think, is the correct term for Bo Schembechler. You'd think that he was a national championship winning coach with how much he is revered. But the sad reality is he is not, and that Rose Bowl record is egregious, and I've always been consistent in that.
Chuck Brewer says, it's okay, there will be no MSU slander from Neal. Michigan State is not in not in terms of a department.
Not slanderable.
They're not. Yeah,
They're not. You got to be relevant.
You got to be relevant to be slandered,
yeah,
man.
They suck.
Like that's it. That's all. Spenmo will be the first one to tell you that.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, I think, with Michigan State fans, is you guys you'll look right in that camera, say we suck.
We suck. At least we got basketball season though. Did you see Cone Card dunk from the free throw line? Looking pretty gnarly. Just saying.
Yeah.
They're gonna have a wagon. Football though, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be the time to slander Michigan State.
Yes, it will.
Hopefully.
There's it's not there. You can't slander something that's not relevant.
That's fair.
They are not relevant. That's a factual statement.
Yeah, it makes me cry a little bit, but it's okay.
And it was funny because I got in some hot water with the Michigan State community. This might have been right before you came on the show, Spenny. But I said you can't win a national title in Michigan State in football.
Yeah.
You can't. The infrastructure's not there.
No, I was there for that. Yeah, and it was, who recruited all those people to Georgia?
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
But that's Georgia.
It's Georgia.
Yeah.
You know, like. You can, if you're getting recruits from the desert and you have a refrigerator full of water, it's pretty easy to recruit there,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. So, you know, Chuck Brewer says Michigan's non-revenue sports are not relevant, but
I mean they're very good. Like just because they're not highlighted, there wasn't. Who was top 3 in the country? Wasn't tennis top 3 in the country or something like that?
They were till they played somebody like them.
I don't care about that. I'm not going to be like, Flannel, you lost in tennis.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
My problem with it is like the baseball thing really triggered it.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, like Oakland played Michigan. I was at the Oakland-Michigan game that year. There was literally 100 people at the Michigan's baseball stadium. Literally 100 people.
Oh yeah, like I said, I went to a total of 2 MSU baseball games.
And then they get to the College World Series, and social media stories get 20,000 likes with everybody saying "Go Blue." Like you pick and choose. And then, by the way, when they played someone nationally relevant at baseball,
like the nationally
right.
relevant Vanderbilt,
What happened?
They lost 2-1. They had a 1-0 lead, and then they lost the next 2. But to be fair, I have long admitted that when it comes to college baseball, not tennis. Not women's tennis, not lacrosse. When it comes to college baseball, I will jump on the bandwagon and say that I am a bandwagon Michigan baseball fan. There's nothing wrong with it as long as I admit it.
I have no beef with you when you do that.
All right.
But you don't comment and go leaders and best. You don't do like Mike G here. 13 Big Ten championships. Go Blue.
I mean that's what Bo Schembechler did win, or won or shared for the record.
Yeah.
They weren't all outright.
So that's really the only issue.
Broder in the chat, LFG Sam, we love you. The man who struck out George Springer.
Oh yeah,
that is true. Speaking of for Michigan college baseball, as a matter of fact,
legend.
He never told me that before that day.
I'm
surprised he didn't lead.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a very humble, honorable man.
I would have like George Springer's baseball card on a chain and wear it around and be like, I struck this dude out. No big deal.
What if he was watching the World Series and being like, that guy?
Yeah.
I once struck him out. Unbelievable.
100%. I would. 100%.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, so that's what it is. Mike G says Matt Broder's a fine local Michigan left-handed pitcher.
Yes.
All true.
That struck out George Springer.
All true. Oh, hey, real quick, by the way, the Tigers this weekend.
Yeah.
When we got done talking about, you got Washington, you got Kansas City. I know it's on the road. Got to go 4-2.
Well, now they got to sweep Kansas City because they lost 2 games out of 3 to Washington, a team that has a worse record than the Tigers, by the way.
Spencer Torkelson's on-base percentage starts with a 2. Tell me more about hard hit rate.
He had a couple good games.
Tell me more about exit velocity and hard hit rate. His on-base percentage is in the 2s.
It's creeping up the 2.
2.
I don't want to start that again, but
yeah. Can we at least have the baseline that in order to be considered a competent MLB player, you got to have an on-base percentage that starts with a 3, or else you're a detriment to your team.
He's creeping up.
He's creeping up. He is. He's a lot better than he was at the beginning of the month, but still.
His on-base percentage is in the 2s.
It's in the 2s. And you know what else? There's only 4 Detroit Tigers that have on-base percentages that start with the 3s. That sounds a lot like last year. Just for the record.
It does, right?
It does.
Lakers going to Cancun.
Man,
that's also true.
What was TCU's men's tennis team ranked?
Number 2
in the nation. That's right. Yeah, that's right. See, it's relevant.
Yep.
It's germane. It's germane to the convo.
Jermaine Cole.
Jeffrey Hall says Michigan State pays a lot of money for a head coach to suck this bad. Well, every university's paying their head football coach a lot of money.
Yeah.
Everybody is.
That's fair.
That's the market right now. Brandon Katz says, Tigers' run differential is negative 51. Their record is regressing to the mean. They were relying on winning close games. And yeah, like all the metrics suggest, a lot like what Flannel likes to pipe in with, the metrics that they were far and away the, quote, luckiest. You talk about lucky metrics. The Detroit Tigers were the shining example of that.
I mean, you can't deny it. There's no real conceivable reason why they should even be 4 games under 500. I mean, Spencer Turnbull, 7 starts, 7.26 ERA. Matthew Boyd, 8 starts, 6.21 ERA, somehow has a 3-3 record. Joey Wentz, 9 starts, 7.45 ERA. Only have 3 position players having on-base percentages of over 300. They're doing well for 2 reasons, or doing better than they should be, because Eduardo Rodriguez, and they have 3 bullpen pitchers with less than 2 ERAs, including a dominant closer in Alex Lang. And they have 2 more bullpen pitchers who have less than a 3 ERA. And oh, by the way, Michael Lorenzen has been okay too. But
he's been pretty good.
He's been good, but they should still. This is not a good baseball team. Not at all. And I think that run differential stat actually means something. It means that they're playing a little bit above their heads, winning some close games. And it's easy to do when you have an Alex Lang as your closer, which brings me to that point. He's been dominant. He's 9-8. Unbelievable.
Still 2 years of club control, too.
Yep. Hey, I mean, Alex Lang, he's looking like he's going to be their all-star this year. If he keeps this up, he could be one of the most dominant closers in the American League.
And somebody brought this up. Denver Blair said they're second, and they are. They're 3.5 games out.
Yeah.
But, like, I think we can all agree you would have to do some kind of roster additions to make that stand up. See, and that's going to be interesting for me to see, and it'll be depressing. Like, if you hang around, and look, 500 means hanging around in this division. If you hang around in this division, and it's kind of there for the taking, what action will we see from the Tigers front office?
That is a good question. I
don't think it's a good question. I think it's an obvious question. At least the answer's obvious.
I mean, the answer it probably should be obvious, but this is the thing. The Minnesota Twins, they're pretty much trash as well. Carlos Correa, have you seen his numbers, by the way? Absolutely awful.
Not Javi Baez bad.
Actually, this year, they are on par. But I think he still has a higher on-base percentage, even though it's bad.
Yeah.
He actually walks.
Of course he does. Jonesy, 5182, does Torque even have a full season under his belt? I mean, come on, he's still young. He does, as a matter of fact, a career .214 hitter with a career on-base percentage of .286. And look, he's not dead. Like, it's not over, but it ain't looking good so far, and that's fair. That's fair.
And that's fair. And I've always said that the reason why I've kind of pushed back is you hear a lot of excuses about Spencer Turnbull because I'm like, oh, he hits the ball hard. Literally every out he's ever made is a line drive right at the shortstop. But at some point, they got to fall in. You got to have an on-base percentage of above 3. That's baseline to be a competent MLB position player.
There's only one competent choice in security.
Absolutely. And that, of course, is Guardian Alarm. It's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people have been proven to care. Call 1-800
Stay out.
That's 1-800
Stay out.
One more time, 1-800
Stay out. Stay out of the finals, Lakers. Go at home. Go to Cancun. Denver's winning. Ha, Sam.
Stay out of the finals, Jason Tatum. Once again, you are proving you are just a star, not a superstar.
But the Celtics, they absolutely quit. It's like Data Davis every other day. There's no quitting Guardian Alarm.
Your local security experts.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
How would you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Darren McCarty, Braylon Edwards play golf with regular average Joes? Thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you'll be able to do just that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice and pay attention to Woodward Sports. For more information, coming soon, the Randy Wise Automotive Team Celebrity Golf Tour. Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl here in the house. We got Sam Flannel in for D-Mac. We have BMG, Big Mike Gentry, Spencer Raxter here as well in honor of Shemmy Schembeckler. Spenmo Rax has legally changed his name to Raxy Raxter. Mm-hmm. So there is that. Yeah. But, hey, subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast if you would be so kind, wherever you get your podcast. iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker.
Thank you for that.
And they're there, by the way, too. Sam Flannel and Thriller. Michael Jackson Thriller. Separated at birth, as we know. We're getting into it here. Spenmo Rax brought up this story. Frank Ragnow, we were talking about Penei Sewell and how he's being sold short, but his time is coming, and most notably it'll come this year. Frank Ragnow, so Spenny, explain this to me. He's got an inoperable toe injury.
Yeah.
Has anybody said, like, what is it?
I don't think it's like an injury that happened yet or anything like that, but just the amount of work that's been done on that toe, which is the same toe that kept him out a majority of the season 2 years ago and a couple games this year, is inoperable. You can't go back in there and do any more work. There's too much going on. And if it flares up, if he has another injury, he's just going to have to play through it, which he did last year.
Right.
But still, like, Elon Musk is making a robot wife. We can't get a bionic toe for Frank. Like, just
like a toe implant or something like that.
Bionic toe on there.
And Sam, like, the question was posed, like, how concerning is that and stuff like that. The way that offensive linemen are built, I'm not, like, concerned about it because Frank Ragnow has shown that he will play through things. And people in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, you cut the toe off and stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying any of that. However, I'm not as concerned as, like, when you hear inoperable toe situation, that sounds bad. I got a feeling Frank Ragnow will be out there.
And that is fair, but I'm not concerned, if that makes sense. My threat level isn't at 100 or 10 or anything, but at the same time, this is the toe injury that kept Frank Ragnow out for 13 games in 2021. Was it 13 or 14? Either way, still the vast majority of the season. And Frank Ragnow is a piece that you're counting on being the center for the future. He is counted on to be the
best center in the game. Yeah, one of the best centers in the game.
The Jason Kelce what he is to the Eagles, the Travis Frederick, what he was to those great Dallas Cowboys offensive lines. Frank Ragnow is one of the best centers in the NFL. I would say third right now behind Jason Kelce and Creed Humphrey. And then it's Frank Ragnow.
Boo.
Hey, come on. That's fair.
Creed Humphrey too high.
Come on. Creed. Okay, anywho, we're splitting hairs here. And Frank Ragnow, it's not like he's an old player. He's 27 years old, and we're already talking about basically an inoperable toe, a toe that's not going to get better under any circumstances. I know it's not a knee. I know it's not like a pitcher's elbow or anything like that, but I don't think you can be not concerned at all. Frank Ragnow right now is arguably, you can put some names in there, the best offensive player, period, on the Detroit Lions. He's made a Pro Bowl. He's made 2 Pro Bowls. He's made an All-Pro team. I just want to see him completely healthy and this offensive line intact. And anything to threaten that gets me a little bit concerned.
Jerome Duncan says Frank is a dog and he will be fine.
Sure.
Stephen Baffey says the Frank Ragnow stuff is why I'm bummed that the Lions did not pick up Steve Avila at 34 or Luke Wyplar, who the Browns took in round 6, who will be a great center in a year or two. I mean, Steve, like, you talk about centers in round 6. I mean, I'm not going to lose sleep over that or be upset about it. And again, I just think when push comes to shove with Ragnow, and the 2021 team was a different scenario.
That's fair.
Was a different situation. Was very, very different than it is right now. If you put that Frank Ragnow in 2021 and it's week 12 this year, and they're 9-3.
he's going to be playing.
He's going to be playing. Like, that's just the way that it is. And look, Ragnow, I think, has it in the bank already. He has the equity in the bank. If he needs to not practice, just whatever he's got to do to be out there on the field, I'm for. If he says, hey, I can only practice every other day, I can't practice this week, whatever. He's one of the foundational pieces, though. Make no mistake.
100%. And if he's on the field, whether it takes less practice time, whatever it takes, I am cool with that, and I hope that, and I hope that he will continue to be one of the best centers in this game and be an anchor for this offensive line. My thing is, and I know it's the NFL and everybody gets a little bit dinged up, but I would rather have Frank Ragnow at full strength. And he is only 27 years old, and that is a little bit concerning that he already basically has a degenerative limb. It's a toe. Don't get me wrong, it's a toe, not the biggest deal in the world, and he should be able to play through that. But would you rather have a Frank Ragnow who, if he was hampered like he was in 2021 but still played, 70% of Frank Ragnow or 100%? Obviously, the answer is 100%, but that's why I can't say that I'm not concerned, because what they're basically saying is we might never get to see Frank Ragnow at full strength ever again in the NFL. Does that mean that he's not a top 3 center anymore? It could. Does it mean that his peak is shortened? It could, and that's all I'm saying. It's not something that I was happy to hear about, but I do think he will play through it. Corey Berry echoes my sentiment too and says another year of limited practice didn't seem to affect Ragnow last year. And that is about him. Like, this isn't new. This didn't just pop up. Like, we have seen this before, and we have seen Frank Ragnow play at a high level. Last year. I mean, and it is that simple. It can be that simple, everybody, where he's been out there and he's done it. Denver Blair says, look at Kaminsky's hand. Frank better get the F out there. Easy, guys. I feel as though we are being a bit flippant about the man's toe.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to say cut off somebody else's toe. It's not your toe.
That's true.
Because
don't you lose like 60% of your balance without your big toe or something like that?
Is it the big toe?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's different. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't either.
That's what I'm saying, being 27 years old.
I mean, they got Glasgow's insurance policy for center, so that's not...
That is, and you know what? That is true, too. It's not like... I know he's a Michigan man, so I guess when they play somebody good, he might struggle a little bit. But, when you play the Panthers or whoever, he'll rise up for you.
I mean, but wouldn't you rather have Frank Ragnow at center than Graham Glasgow?
Absolutely, but I'm saying, though, Graham Glasgow, he's not nothing.
No, he's not
He's
nothing.
a league veteran. He's been around the block. Like, I'm cool with that. I'm comfortable.
But Frank Ragnow, by his age, you would think has many more prime years left. If he has a big toe that's inoperable, that is degenerative, I don't want his peak to be shortened. That's all I'm saying. Frank Ragnow gives your team the best chance to win. He is one of the pieces that makes your offensive line as elite as it is. You take Frank Ragnow out and put him with replacement level center like Graham Glasgow, this offensive line isn't going to be as good. Obviously, they still have Penei Sewell, Taylor Decker, Jonah Jackson, but Frank Ragnow right now, you could argue, is the best offensive player on the team. You could argue Amon-Ra St. Brown or Penei Sewell too, but you could also argue Frank Ragnow.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Alex Haggerty says big toe is the most important toe. Power rank the toes, Sam Flannel.
Big. Jesus, and the rest
Pinky's
of them,
number 2.
I would probably say Pinky's number 2.
Yeah.
See, why is that?
I don't know, but I can
It's the shortest.
I can grab stuff with my toes, so you need the pinky for the grip strength.
It's got the lowest center of gravity.
Yeah.
Lowest center of gravity in terms of grip.
Yeah, I'd say big and pinky are 1, 2.
1 and 2,
and then the
right.
rest just fall in line.
You said the pinky, right?
Pinky's number 2.
Pinky's number 2.
Yeah. Big's number 1, pinky's number 2, the rest fall in line.
See, I would say like the index toe, for some, because I'm one of those people. My index toe is longer than my big toe.
Yeah, so is mine.
That's not nothing.
It's not nothing.
You're talking about the most landmass down there.
Might not be something, but it's not nothing.
But it's not nothing.
Yeah.
And plus, I'm very fond of my index toe. I don't know why. I just am.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to...
We're hitting a very specific segment of Big D listeners that are loving this right now.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to toes, I would give up all of them except for my big toe for a Michigan national championship. So, obviously, when it comes to anything but the big toe, it's all 2 afterwards. Big toe 1.
Greg Round says you can crunch numbers for the salary cap and know everything about it, but you can't understand why the pinky toe is important. I'm not saying it's not. They're all important, Greg.
Nah.
They're important.
I mean, you miss one of the 3 in the middle, you're not going to miss anything.
But again, so that's surprising as a man whose index toe was bigger than his big toe.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
But the pinky and the big toes provide all the stability. The rest of them are just there for the ride.
I want some science on the pinky. I feel as though the pinky toe is being a bit overrated.
I don't know.
It's so small.
But I don't know. It anchors the foot.
I've never felt that before.
I think the pinky toe doesn't get its credit. It's important.
See, I think you guys are really short selling the index toe.
I think the index toe is a role player at best.
See, I don't know.
It's Danny Green.
I think the index toe. It's the wide receiver of the toes. Like it's the tallest.
No.
I 100% believe that.
The wide receiver?
Yes.
Well, big toe's the quarterback.
Yeah, the index toe,
the left tackle,
and the index toe is a wide receiver. Like it gets, when your index toe is playing well, everything else kind of falls into place.
Yeah, but I think you could do well without a good index toe.
See, I don't think so.
A team can succeed without a good index
Mine is
toe.
taller than the rest of my other toes.
So is mine, but he's not crucial to my team's success. Like the pinky or the big toe.
Okay. Denver Blair says a pinky toe is a defensive toe.
Yeah. Defensive end. That's your Aiden Hutchinson.
The edge rusher.
Yeah.
Spenny, Mike G. Spenny, the pinky toe is a backup goalie for the Wings. We always root for the pinky toe to get more ice time. See, Mike, I agree with you there. I think it's taken on this folklore. Like the pinky toe has taken on this. Like, start breaking down the math of it. Look how much smaller it is and everything. It can't have this great of an impact that everybody says it does. It can't.
Yeah, I'd probably have to agree with the pinky toe. And mine, and I don't know if it's with everybody, mine looks like deformed almost. Is that everybody's
really?
Pinky
Stunning.
toe?
So are your takes. Your takes are deformed,
I have
too.
nice toes, Sam.
I walked right into that.
Yeah. Let me tell you guys about Cousins Maine Lobster.
Yeah.
Because enough toe talk. Let's talk about food. Right from toes. It makes sense. It's the only good segue I have. Woodward Sports is brought to you by Cousins Maine Lobster Detroit. Check out their 2 food trucks rolling around the city, offering the tastiest lobster rolls, lobster tacos, and more. Go to cousinsmainelobster.com to search locations and find their Detroit schedule, or download the app, order ahead, and earn rewards. You can even scan that QR code right there and figure out where they are rolling around the city. So make sure you check out Cousins Maine Lobster.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Keeping it pushing, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Sam Flannel in for DMAC on the desk. We have BMG over in Flannel spot, and of course Spencer Raxter also. And for those of you asking in the woodwardsports.com chat thread, that is Parker, a new trainee here at Woodward Sports. He's learning the playing field, right? He's learning the arena, right, Spenmo?
Oh yeah, getting a feel of the process.
What's the early takeaway from Parker so far?
Oh, he's ready. He's ready. He's
you think so?
Ready. Yeah, it's his first day though. So.
But is he ready for the final word?
Can't scare him off, Neal. You can't scare him.
Well, that's
off,
how Parker. Let me tell you something. That's how you're going to be judged around here, man.
The final word is the measuring stick.
Yeah, like this is the Memphis Redbirds of Woodward Sports. The show is the final word. They get all the resources. They get everything. So Parker, just remember, you're being groomed for that. It doesn't matter what you do here. It only matters what you do from 2 to 4.
Parker, what's your favorite toe? The people want to know.
Oh, goodness. Well, the big toe is the most important, so I'd still go big toe.
Smart man. Smart man.
All right, we're still sizing Parker up. We'll continue to do that. We'll see where he's at. We'll see what he's about. We will do that. WoodwardSports.com, chat poll right now. And it's out there for you. The voting is taking place. What is the most important toe? And the reason we're bringing it big with 82% of the votes so far. The reason we're bringing it up, we're just talking about Frank Ragnow. His toe is inoperable. Is this concerning your level of concern? Good to hear Rex Ryan chime in. I figured Rex Ryan would jump into the chat.
He's a big toe guy.
This is the best segment ever. Sincerely, Rex Ryan.
He's a big toe guy.
Among other things. Alex Haggerty says the big toe is the Isaiah Buggs of the foot. It's got a big ass.
It's more important than Isaiah Buggs.
More important than Isaiah Buggs, for sure.
Denver Blair wants to know, Parker, what's the second most important toe? Now let's think about it before you answer. Don't derail your career before it starts.
For day one, come on.
Which
I mean, according to the polls, it's saying pinky
no.
two, but
to you.
But I would say the index. I'm on your playing field.
I like this kid. This kid's got a future in this business. This kid's going to make it.
Boo.
You'll be at the final word before you know it, probably by the end of the week. Remember me when you go to the final word.
Yeah.
Remember the rest of us.
Remember all of us.
Triple A'ers down here.
Yeah.
Right, BMG? Yeah, you know.
He's not even in the booth.
He's back sitting in the chair. Do you think he would get away with that on the final word?
Chance.
Would you ever have done that on the final word? Be honest.
I did.
Flannel, you've worked the final word.
Yeah.
You would never pull that ish on the final word.
Absolutely not. But to be fair, I don't even pull that on this show. So, just saying.
Well,
but thank you, BMG.
you know.
You're doing a great job.
Oh, yeah.
Doughboy Steve says he looks like an Ermanni simp. I don't know. We can't.
Don't do
You're
that.
in the crosshairs now, Parker. Just so you know, you're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to learn how to deal with that. Mike G says BMG's mic is off. No, it's not off. He's just like.
No, it was off. It actually was off.
But he's just way in the back, like sitting on the chair and everything like that. You know, just saying, man, is it 2:00 yet?
So you can be on the final word.
Yeah.
The big leagues.
The big leagues.
And at some point, Parker, you will have to come back to Big D Energy to fill in some capacity.
Yep.
And it'll just be like coming back to AAA. And then you'll go right back to the final word and everything will be just fine. It's like your rehab assignment.
Nice rehab assignment.
I love AAA.
Greg Rounds. This has become like a Parker segment here, which I'm fine. We got to find out. See, like you get new workmates and work associates and stuff like that. You never do really get the chance to dig deep.
About toes.
About toes, number one. But Greg Rounds wants to know. We all need to know how Parker feels about Grandpa Joe and Jenny from Forrest Gump. Do you know who Grandpa Joe is? You're a youngster.
I mean, I've seen Forrest Gump,
Okay.
but it's been a minute since I've seen it last. But
Can we agree that Jenny was a trash person?
oh yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah. Terrible person.
Do you ever see Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory?
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Like not the Johnny Depp one
Yeah.
or whatever, like the old one.
Yeah, me and my dad watched it all the time.
Really? So, okay, your thoughts on Grandpa Joe?
Man, that guy's weird. That guy's weird. I don't know. 4 people in one bed is kind of an odd situation.
He would rather have 4 people in a bed than actually go do something. He's pretty much a piece of trash, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, again, why are you sharing a bed with 4 people? It's meant for 2 at most.
How about this? Go to work and help. Go to work and help, Grandpa Joe. Try that.
Like, you don't need... I mean, if you got up off your ass, you could go do something instead of having your grandson go get a chocolate factory for a living.
Yeah.
Smart man.
And then slide in there when he is going to get it. Old
Exactly.
Grandpa Joe. Hitting the gritty.
He's a gold digger.
Thank you. There you go, Greg Round. So Parker's off to a good start.
Very good start.
He's off and running. And we're... Steve Wild says Spencer is this poor kid's mentor.
Hey.
He's a good mentor.
Yeah.
He's mentored some of the finest here.
He has, as a matter of fact. There is something, again, and oh, by the way, the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, up 2-0.
T'Chuk's a monster, dude.
Oh, he's having... What he's doing for his legacy in this playoffs, he's upped his play even. Been absolutely phenomenal.
And it's gotten me to thinking, and we touched on this, right? I believe when we did like the 5 for Fighting, I asked the question, the 5 for Fighting. I said, do we realize how far away the Red Wings are from these teams that are competing? And Flannel, I had an epiphany. It cost me $50 at Tiffany's. No, I'm just kidding. It didn't.
Nice.
But I had kind of an epiphany from that conversation we had, because the consensus was, no, we don't realize how far away the Red Wings are. And I'll say it like this, Flannel. This Florida Panthers team that is up 2-0 on the Carolina Hurricanes in the conference finals, that have won both games on the road, that are a wagon on the road this year, at Toronto, at Boston. Remember, this Panthers team needed a minus 500 favorite to lose to the Blackhawks to get into the playoffs. So for like us, who just flippantly say, well, it's time to take the step. It's time for the Red Wings to make the playoffs. We say that. The Panthers almost didn't make the playoffs until the last game of the season. The Panthers traded a 115-point guy to get Matthew Tkachuk. And oh, by the way, a prime prospect. And oh, by the way, a first-round pick. BMG, I will go to you, and then I'll follow up with Flannel, because you're the resident hockey guy here. BMG, I have gotten more depressed thinking about it as the playoffs have gone on. We don't have a package like that to offer anybody for a star player.
No.
Not even close, man.
No. And you look at like the depth of those teams, that's what you want to build towards as a Red Wings fan, or as the Red Wings want to build towards. But yeah, we are very far away still. Still a couple years out, few years minimum.
From having the arsenal to be able to make a move like that, to go get a Hart Trophy finalist, because that's what Tkachuk is this year.
Yes, he is.
A Hart Trophy finalist. I know he plays down in I know he plays down in Lauderdale in South Florida, so we don't really check in on it around here. But Flannel, this run by the Panthers has been kind of disheartening to me. Is that wrong?
No, it's not necessarily wrong. And speaking of Tkachuk, he is upping his play in the playoffs. And how's Jonathan Huberdeau doing? He didn't do jack shit this year. So that just shows that the Florida Panthers basically fleeced him at this point, at least for 1 year. My question is, and I'm kind of curious about the whole room's opinion on this, we all say that, and even Darren McCarty says this, next year for the Detroit Red Wings, it's playoffs. Playoffs are the expectation, or you're going to have some questions about Stevie
Which is
Y.
great to say, Flannel.
Well,
when we're sitting here at a desk, it's fun to say, that's great to say, and pound the table and say, all right, what are we doing this summer? We're going up north for the summer. It's great to say. Give me the path. You see, like that. Yeah. That's great to say. Okay, and this is where I do this a lot, obviously, in this job. Like, it's fun. Everyone likes the clicks and the pounding of the table and the yelling into the microphone. Give me the path. How are you going to do it? And this stuff about, well, Toronto fired their GM, so let's go get Austin Matthews. If Tkachuk got you that, right? I would assume that's kind of like a baseline for Austin Matthews. You know how they're saying, like, it's over in Toronto and they're going to tear it apart, which I don't believe. Like, I don't believe the Celtics are going to get torn apart. Because what's the alternative?
Tear it all down or get stuck in purgatory, basically.
And do what? Like, get draft picks and hope you draft guys that are as good as Tatum and Brown?
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that unnecessary step? So bringing it back to the Red Wings, that's my question, Flannel, is like, what's the move?
The move? I don't know if there is an available move to make them contenders next year. I guess the Red Wings just better hope that Mo Seider takes another step, Lucas Raymond, Simon Evanson, Marco Kasper.
So then the playoffs are not a realistic expectation. If this Florida Panthers team barely got in, then that's not fair to expect the playoffs.
I mean, the Florida Panthers are in a weird situation. They won the President's Trophy 2 years ago. Like, this wasn't a team that was supposed to be an 8 seed this year. They stumbled out of the gate. They changed the head coach. They got rid of one of their best players and brought in some new guys. So that had them fumbling. But when they got locked and loaded, they were making plays. And now we see they have that playoff experience. They have great defenders. They have a great roster. Bob has been playing lights out. So it's tough for you to set the bar with the Red Wings as the Florida Panthers, even though they were the 8 seed, because this is one of the best.
No, and don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you have to go be the Florida Panthers. I'm saying, what's the move to get more like the Florida Panthers? I think we're being very flippant about the fact And look, Huberdeau had like a 60-point season or something like that this year.
Yeah.
I forget
Big
what the number was.
drop-off.
Had 115 the year before.
Yeah.
Like that was a bold move, you know. And I'm not saying like I know. And
I think the Red Wings should be more like try to be like the Canes, to where they're building the army, to where they have the 1 through 4th line all contributing. Is what Steve Yzerman is doing. He doesn't have a guy.
Well, then
roster.
we need to readjust the expectations, and because if that's the goal, you're years away from that. Just because of the roster depletion that you had. The Hurricanes are rolling 4 lines of everybody on the Hurricanes team has 60 points. Every single player.
Yes.
You know, like it's what it seems like. I know that's not the case.
It's reasonable. Yeah, it's like everybody on their team has at least 15 or 20 goals. Like,
so this is a team with the Red Wings. How many players do they have really? Like if you're talking about 4 lines.
Yeah.
How many players, Carolina Hurricanes type players, do they have?
Right now on the roster, I would say 6, but you got at least.
And how many do the Hurricanes have?
12.
You see, so then if you're going to do this through the draft, then you have to wait for those guys to get here,
I mean,
right?
you got a couple more guys that you're going to bring up and expect to be good, like Mazur, Lombardi. You know, it's. Hopefully it'll get there. Hopefully we see some more guys. You got Soderblom, who obviously didn't do much this year but was injured, so you can't expect that out of the same next year. But I'm just saying, we have an army that Stevie's building. We don't have that 115 Hart Trophy guy on this roster right now. It's more of a Canes than it is Florida.
Let alone to trade.
Yeah.
You know, those are the types of moves, and I do want to further the discussion after I tell you about Strawberry Fest at Big Boy. Try the classic breakfast items: the strawberry hotcakes, a mouth-watering red velvet waffle. If you're not a breakfast person, that's cool. I'm not either, but I do mess with the strawberry bacon chicken wrap. I've had it; it slaps. You can also have the refreshing summer splash salad, and don't forget about dessert. That's the point of all this. The OG of it all: the strawberry pie. That is right. Deep fried vanilla Oreos, or the strawberry hot fudge cake, all of that and more. Get to Big Boy today for Strawberry Fest.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, BMG, Big Mike Gentry. We got our rookie from the draft, Parker, here, taking it in as well. And we're talking Detroit Red Wings, and I know we touched on this in our 5 for Fighting last week, I believe it was. But watching the Florida Panthers in this run they're on, Flannel, they're winning in other people's rinks. Carolina, Boston, like there are no more questions about can they do this. Yes, they can do this. And when I say this, I mean all like win the whole thing.
They most certainly can.
So it just got me to thinking about it, where I brought up the Matthew Tkachuk trade and what it took, about how they traded a top-tier prospect, a first-round pick, and a 115-point guy for Tkachuk. And, the Red Wings don't have that in the arsenal. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Stephen Baffy. Playoffs are okay to expect, just don't expect to win in the playoffs much. Mike G says, Ruhl, no playoffs for the Wings next year. Too many questions about vacancies, and the unrestricted free agent market sucks ass. And that is true, too, because there's no help on the horizon. There's no check you can write, Sam.
Yeah, that's when we go over who the Red Wings can get. There's not a whole lot of people that really excite them. And I know a lot of people, and I kind of fall into this, too. The Red Wings were right in the middle of the playoff push. I think they were 27-21 and something at some point. They were right there. They actually were in the 8th spot. But after they went on a little bit of a losing streak, they had to sell off some of their pieces, like Tyler Bertuzzi, who was one of their best players, Filip Hronek, who was having a resurgent season, and Jacob Vrana basically gave you bupkis this year when we were expecting him to maybe be their top goal scorer.
He's not even here.
Not even here. He's gone. Absolutely not. So their roster is more depleted than it was, to Mike G's point, than they were at the point when they were actually winning and in a playoff spot for a couple days.
And again, like I'm not bashing the process or anything like that. It's very clear. That's actually my biggest plus with Yzerman. There's a clear plan in place, and you can see it. But it is going to take some time. I just am bringing it up and talking about it because, like, the playoff expectation next year has become a little more unrealistic to me. It just has. I know that's a buzzkill, and I know people don't like it.
Boo.
I'm sorry, hey guys. I'm sorry though. But give me the path, Flannel. Again, we can just real quickly cruise through the free agents. The highest producing free agents from last year. Jesper Bratt from the Devils had a 73-point season. He's a 5'10" left wing. Because I'm a big DeBrincat simp, and I got crushed because we don't want small guys. That's what I was told, right?
I mean, that's what some people say. I like DeBrincat though.
Yeah, I mean, I do too, but whatever. Again, that's like the highest producing guy that was out there. DeBrincat's restricted. Dubois from Winnipeg had a 63-point season. He was a $6 million a year guy last year, so you're going to pay him. You get in a bidding situation. Dubois is what, 25? You're going to pay him Larkin money?
Not ideally.
That's what it's going to. All right. Well, then what's your plan?
I mean, I don't really have this magical plan. I mean, at this point, the big question is, are fans going to be patient if it does take a couple more years? Because Darren McCarty, the man who sits right here and who is I would say, I don't know the word for it, but a Detroit Red Wings icon in this area, says playoffs or bust next year.
He's a Detroit Red Wings legend.
Okay.
Say it, Sam.
Member of 4 Stanley Cup teams.
Oh, my God.
Wow. But anywho,
Legend.
He is up here pounding the table saying, and not really pounding the table, not really questioning Yzerman, but saying next year it's playoffs. Are fans going to actually have the patience to go through another couple years of building this team? That's the question. I don't know.
Do you tell me, Spenmo? Where are you at?
I'd like to see them in the playoffs next year. I'm not going to.
Am I depressing you?
A little bit, yeah.
Am I wrong?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the context in which you miss playoffs next year. Just kind of like at the end of this season, obviously you showed some hope, and then Yzerman sold off at the deadline. It is kind of what it is. You didn't expect to go into the playoffs. But next year, if like all your players get injured or something like that, and whatever, you miss playoffs, then it's like it's understandable. But you at least want to show fight. You don't want to like go down there and bear down.
See, because I'm just coming off a Pistons season where when you talk to the fans, they missed the number 1 overall draft pick. They lost him for the year 9 games in. And, it's over, the franchise is trash, all that kind of stuff, right? We've seen it. We've seen people say that stuff. So I'm looking for the consistency.
I don't know if there is a whole lot of consistency. People did tend to forget about Cade Cunningham, but yeah, when you lose your first overall pick, that's going to subtract your team's win total by anywhere between 7 and 10, I would say. I guess the question I actually have this one for BMG.
Okay.
Where do you think, how high, what do you think Mo Sider's ceiling is for next year?
Well, Spencer already knows this. I am very high on Mo Sider. I already think he's like top 8 NHL defenseman, so I think he could only go down from there, rather. He's one of the most elite defensemen in the league. In year 2, you already seen it, and you've seen him lock down some of the best. So I think he could even push like top 5, but I would say like top 8, like off rip, no matter what.
Yeah, and that's fine, and that's great.
Yeah, but there still needs to be
advertised.
Yeah, there needs to be pieces around him. To your point,
that's one.
Yeah. But that's a huge one. That is
no question.
Yes.
But how many defensemen play in a game?
Well, Mo Sider, if you've seen last year, he played a hell of a lot of ice time. But yes, I get your point.
I think the Red Wings have 3 defensemen right now that I'm confident in.
Who's that?
What?
Who's that? Obviously,
Sider, Wallman, and Edvinsson.
Okay.
Yeah.
That could be like a pretty elite trio, especially if Sider and Edvinsson pan out to what they're their ceiling is. Obviously, it would be an elite trio. But the one guy, I'm starting to worry, and I know I might get crushed for this, but I think there's some validity. I'm wondering if Lucas Raymond is more just a guy than a potential star. Is that fair?
I think it's fair. He's got potential to go up to that star, but it takes a lot to jump from, 25, 30 to 50. So I don't know if that's what you mean by star, which is a 50 goal scorer. That's what I expect. What you mean by star. I don't see him reaching there anytime soon. He has the potential to get there, but that's a big ask. Damn, that's a big ask.
And again, it tempers for me, right? Because I was the one kind of leading the flag with like the Austin Matthews charge, and go get him and stuff like that. We can't. 50
goal guys don't grow on trees.
Like we can't. We don't have the ability to get him, even if he became available.
No.
And that just kind of hit me over the weekend. When you see Matthew Tkachuk doing what he did, it kind of hit me, and I got bummed out.
Yeah, and the Florida Panthers, they're certainly not a fluky 8 seed. They're not like what Columbus was a couple of years ago. They've got Matthew Tkachuk, they've got Bobrovsky and Barkov. They've got some players, and they could very well win it all. And they're probably going to beat Carolina in this series. They just won 2 games in overtime in their building, and whoever comes out of the West, I would not bet against this Florida Panthers team. They might have, I would say they have the best overall player left in the playoffs. I would say that's not even debatable at this point.
And they are giving off that team of destiny vibe,
100%.
dude, where they get every break, they overcome adversity, they get a goal disallowed, they still come back and win the game. You know what I'm saying? Like they have that feel, they have that look.
Yeah, and if you don't lose overtime games, we all, and I know I use this word often and people don't like it, there's an element of luck to that.
Because it's not like in basketball where the Nuggets are like clearly the best team.
I mean, they are. They're better. But they've been shooting lights out, more so than they ever have in their careers.
And they also have a 2-time back-to-back MVP who by all rights should have won a third as well.
I mean, by the numbers, yes, but three-time back-to-back-to-back MVP. That doesn't happen.
Mike G says that's Parky Parker behind Raxy Raxter.
Yeah, it's true.
We're doing all Shemmy Schimbeckler names today in honor of his short stint with Michigan football.
Flanny
Flannel. Yeah, absolutely. Jenny Gentry. Yeah. Ruhl. There you go. So we have it all. We have it all going on. Brandon says the Washington Capitals missed the playoffs last year in the East. They are clearly better than Detroit right now.
Correct. Buffalo.
BMG, I mean, Pittsburgh. You do the shows, man. You tell me. Am I out of pocket here or no?
I mean, when any team has Alex Ovechkin and he's still producing at this age, I would put them above the Red Wings. But I would say they're like toe and toe. Obviously, the Washington has guys like
which toe?
Big toe. But they have guys like Kuznetsov and Backstrom. They're still a very good team. But they did lose a guy like Dmitry Orlov to Boston, so that team is shying away from their primes and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
and that's where I am with Washington and Pittsburgh is like they're descending. Like, yeah,
for sure.
They still got Ovechkin, but he's graybeard, and now he just sits in the slot. And yeah, they got Malkin and they got Crosby, but those guys are gray bush. Like they're getting up there. And
they lost to Chicago as a minus 500 favorite to go in the playoffs.
Red Wings are trending up with young players that have a lot of promise. Washington and Pittsburgh are relying on these aging stars that are not that their best times are behind them.
So you're telling me check back in 2 years then?
Yes. I think they can do it next year.
You can maybe even check back at the end of this year. Like, I don't think Washington's going to be that great by any means.
So if you had to bet your mortgage payment or bet your car payment on them making the playoffs, are you betting on it or no?
Can I wait till the draft and all this shit transpires?
Well, what's the draft going to do for you?
Well, you don't know. They have a lot of picks, and I don't think Steve Yzerman's going to be quiet this offseason by any means. So, just my standpoint. Day one, when the season starts,
if he makes
give me both those rosters, maybe.
If he makes all those draft picks, you betting your mortgage payment on them making the playoffs?
I don't believe he makes all those picks, but no.
Okay.
But I still think he's going to get, if he does, he's still going to get quality players. I mean, he's shown us.
And again, guys, like, I'm not disparaging what he's doing. I support it. I like it. I enjoy it. The cap flexibility. He has 3 consecutive picks in the second round. He will draft an all-star, but not next year. They will not play in next year's all-star game.
Yeah.
Definitely not. And he's got a lot of picks to make, but the only pick you should make if you're looking for insurance is Swiss Insurance. Because do you like our draft picks? Did the GM do his job? Be a boss, take control of your insurance options. Draft a company that will give you the most cost-effective plan and protect you like the best offensive line in the league. Email Swiss Insurance today. That's mark@swissins.com. mark@swissins.com, or go to swissins.com and figure out your plan. It's Swiss Insurance.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Coming on the stretch here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, BMG, or as you know them today, here in this Shemmy Schembeckler edition of the show. Flanny Flannel, Jenny Gentry, Raxy Raxter, and where do we have on Parker? Parky Parker.
Yep.
There it is. So, which kind of dovetails into this comment. And jump in to the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Naren Meitel, I haven't noticed you in here before. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you tapping in. I don't even know where Neal went to college, but he reeks of Michigan inferiority complex. Naren, I would just ask, like, inferior to as to what?
I don't think you reek of Michigan inferiority complex.
All I do, Naren, is just go off facts that happen.
Don't win a lot of big national games. I'm the biggest Michigan fan there is at the network, and I even will admit that.
Yeah.
It's painful. I don't like it.
But you can set your watch to it.
So far, 2023, I really like this Michigan football team.
I know. How about tennis? Will tennis bounce back and get over the hump?
I don't care about tennis.
Lacrosse?
Probably not. I don't care, though.
Will baseball come back from that loss to Oakland for the second consecutive year?
Probably not.
D-Mac said he's taking bets on the Wings to make the playoffs, looking to cash in like me on the Nuggets.
The D-Mac Sportsbook is open.
Yeah.
Okay. It's out there. And again, guys, I'm not ishing on it. I hope that didn't come. Did that come across as that?
No, you're just cautious.
It's just I got some perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're more patient, I think, than the average person and more process-oriented, and you understand those things. So you're a process, a rebuild, taking longer than I think fans are willing to be patient for. That is something, to be fair, that you've always been more okay with, I think, than the average fan.
Okay. And that is where it's at because, again, this is kind of based in reality, you know? So, again, and I'm curious to get D-Mac's take on it. We'll put D-Mac on the stand tomorrow.
I can't wait.
For sure.
Oh,
yeah, 100% we will.
Even though Sam Flannel couldn't call him a legend. It's terrible.
It is terrible.
He did have one regular season point in the 2008 season.
4 Stanley Cups.
That's factual.
He had more points in the playoffs, though, right?
Oh yeah. I'm just saying.
Sam Flannel, he is a Detroit sports legend.
Dude, walk out in the street with the man.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Anywhere. Walk into any building.
And my point has always been that besides for Steve Yzerman, he's kind of become almost the face of that Stanley Cup dynasty team, and that's kind of crazy. We all agree with that. He's so likable and such a man of the people that I think it inflates what he did for the Red Wings a little bit more than... I'm just saying.
You got the biggest balls I've ever
I know. He's watching his words. You can tell.
I mean, I've seen him go face to face with them. So Flannel's got balls of steel.
He does. More valuable to their championship, Anthony Davis or Darren McCarty?
Stop.
Anthony Davis.
Thank you.
probably,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Darren
Thank you.
McCarty's got the signature moment of the sport.
That's true.
Of the sport.
That's true.
Wait, the signature of the sport?
Yes. Every Stanley Cup video that's ever run, every Stanley Cup hype video that's ever been produced features who scoring a goal.
Darren
McCarty. An
I'm just
insurance
saying,
goal in a series
no
they were
hype
already up
video
3-0.
ever produced contains anything from Data Davis except him in jorts.
Oh, obviously Anthony Davis is more important to the championship than D-Mac was to the.
That?
There he is.
That is a bad outfit.
I'm gonna find a badass picture of D-Mac to put next to that.
There he is.
Just for reference.
I'm just saying.
No, I mean, I understand.
No hype video ever has been made with an Anthony Davis highlight in it.
Yeah, but
ever.
The DMAC goal was an insurance goal in a series they were already up 3-0.
Stop.
I'm just saying. People often act like it
Just
was a game
like
winner.
just like Data Davis's 40-point game recently was in a game they were down 20 points.
And they came back
Yeah.
to within 3. He's a champion, though.
What is Anthony Davis's signature moment?
He doesn't have one.
Can't think of a signature moment that comes to mind, but he did average 28, 10, and 4 on 57% shooting and 38% from 3 in a playoff run in 2020. I know you guys are sick of hearing it. It doesn't make it any less true.
What about that?
Alex Merrill.
What
Sam,
about that, Flannel?
Sam is definitely the biggest bozo I've ever heard talk. There's that, yeah.
Excellent play. Excellent play. Never said that it wasn't.
Goated play.
Rada says his game winner against Oklahoma City. I don't even know what you're talking about.
He actually did. Anthony Davis actually did have a buzzer beater in the Nuggets series. That actually did happen.
That was probably, I would say, his best moment.
That did happen.
Came off a nice little pick and roll. I remember that. There's not many, but that one was all right.
Do you think it's more memorable, that play or his jorts?
The jorts, for sure.
Oh, yeah, the jorts. Jorts are forever.
Jorts are forever.
Mike G says AD's signature moment was getting his 2 eyebrows to mate. I don't know. I don't do personal appearance. I don't take shots at people for their personal appearance. That was the view of Mike G and not that of Woodward Sports, Neal Ruhl, or Big D Energy at all. So we're done with that. Pistons head coaching finalist. Something's telling me you're going to hear something soon on this.
Yeah.
Maybe as soon as this week. I don't know what that entails. I don't know who that entails. Right here, right now, Spenmo, you're an NBA guy. Who you want?
Charles Lee. I want Charles Lee. And I think it's more possible than it was before because the Bucks are aggressively pursuing Monty Williams, so it seems like Charles Lee won't be their guy if they want Monty that bad.
Does it concern you at all that the Bucks gassed their guy, and if Charles Lee was so great, why didn't they hand the keys over to him?
Because they're in win now mode, they're in championship contention mode. They'd rather have a proven guy like Monty Williams than a guy who hasn't coached a game in the NBA.
Okay, it's just a question I asked.
Yeah, no,
it's not hating.
I'm saying it makes sense. Like I would do this if the Pistons right now, won a championship a couple years ago, had one of the top 3 players in the NBA, and were ready to win a championship again. I would say Monty Williams or Mike Budenholzer, but they're not. They're trying to grow this young team, so I'm going with Charles Lee.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. D. McCarty says, does Anthony Data Davis have an ESPY?
Oh,
that's actually a good question. Probably not.
Probably not.
Is Anthony Davis
maybe worst dressed? If they had an ESPY for worst dressed,
is Anthony Davis going to the Hall of Fame? Yes. Is Darren McCarty? No.
God.
Come on, that's like the least controversial thing of all time. Only in Detroit would people give me crap for that.
It's not controversial. It's just that shot was not needed.
Yeah.
You don't care about the NBA Hall of Fame.
I do care.
You dismiss players in the Basketball Hall of
You
Fame.
do.
Oh, yeah, Ben Wallace, Dikembe Mutombo, they shouldn't be in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Pistons coach, where are you at?
In a perfect world, I would probably say Monty Williams, but I'm also okay with Charles Lee. If the scenario plays out like Spenny said, that maybe the Milwaukee Bucks are pursuing Monty Williams, which is a much more attractive job for an established coach, and Charles Lee is available, I would love Charles Lee to fall to the Pistons. I mean, he was a high-level assistant on a team that won a championship and was one of the preeminent winners of the NBA in the past 5 years. He's a young guy. He's a guy that I think will connect with the younger guys in the locker room well. To me, out of all the assistants, if we're putting aside guys like Budenholzer, Doc Rivers, Monty Williams, he would be the guy out of all of the lower level, like not even lower level assistant coaches that I would probably want the most.
Ooh.
because I'm a Monty Williams guy too, just based on look at what he's done with guards. He juiced Chris Paul. He got the last 3 drops of Chris Paul.
People forgot.
Made him elite.
That during that 2020-2021 season, there was talk of him being an MVP candidate. And now Devin Booker has taken that next step.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, before he was kind of seen as a non-winning me-first shot jacker. And now look at the playoff run he just had. Devin Booker has taken that step. And I would rather have Monty Williams than Charles Lee for the record. It's what do I want versus what
are
would
you
be
going to get?
Realistic, but also a very good consolation prize.
Gentry just sent me this tweet about the Bucks. It says it's from Woj. It says ESPN sources: the Bucks are narrowing groups of top candidates in franchise's head coaching search. Nick Nurse, Golden State assistant Kenny Atchison, and Toronto assistant Adrian Griffin. These coaches will be part of the final conversations with Milwaukee leadership this week.
Nick Nurse is going to get that job.
Yeah,
facts.
I think Nick Nurse will end up getting the Bucks job. I'm telling you, man. Monty Williams. I got a feeling about it. It's not any inside information or anything like that. It all fits.
Yeah.
What he does with guards is incredible. What is really the only thing the Pistons have right now?
Guards.
And an elite, perceived elite.
Very cool. I didn't think Monty Williams is going to be even in the conversation. I thought he was going to be scooped up by somebody.
Yeah.
Agree. I think we all agree here that Monty Williams would be a slam dunk hire.
And I think we agree that Cintron is banging. It's the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. They have an exclusive offer for Woodward sports fans, a limited edition Red Wings 6-pack, $15, free shipping. Boom, you can try them all. Go to drinkcintron.com/Woodward. Again, why wait? Go to drinkcintron.com/Woodward. You can try them all. The great tasting cranberry, classic, and sugar-free. Cintron, the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proudly served at Little Caesars Arena, served at Keyworth Stadium, Detroit City FC. Huge win this weekend. I saw people out in the crowd. Cranberry seems to be the play for everybody that I see at the arenas knocking it down. But hey, try them all. Cranberry, classic, and sugar-free. DrinkCintron.com/Woodward. $15 free shipping to your door. Drink it. Live it with Cintron.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots. He scores!
With 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry. Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Sam Flannel in for D-Mac, but probably not for long. He'll be shot to the surface of the moon, I'm sure, in very short order. BMG, Big Mike Gentry, you better get comfortable over there. I know your dreams of being on the final word may be dashed. You may be relegated here to Big D Energy.
Wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
I know.
My favorite, Neal. You know that.
Raxy Raxter here in the building. Parky Parker, our new guy. The fresh fish is here as well. He's taking it all in. And Real Cream of Wheat says, wouldn't the word guard mean they also defend? That's not what any Piston does. No, Real Cream of Wheat, I'm talking about what Monty Williams has been able to do with guards throughout his coaching career. I think that fits.
And Cade defends.
And Cade does defend. Cade can defend 1 through 3.
Yes.
Arguably the 4, too.
Arguably the 4.
So he's your most versatile defender, who also only played 9 games this year.
Flannel, I had a question for you.
Yes.
Who is more deserving of a Hall of Fame spot? Anthony Davis or Chris Osgood?
Oh, Anthony Davis.
Oh, my
Anthony
God,
Davis.
Dude, what?
Why is that even remotely controversial? Anthony Davis is 8-time All-Star, 4-time first-team All-Pro, champion, 28, 10, and 4, on 57% shooting, 38% from 3, in A playoff run?
Blasphemous.
Come on. Oh, stop it.
400 wins, multiple time Stanley Cup champion.
Okay, fair enough.
Part of the greatest, maybe arguably the greatest team in the history of the NHL.
Oh, yeah, that great team that he had. So his job wasn't always as hard. For the record, that is
it's kind of
fair.
like playing with LeBron, right?
Yeah, and that is fair. But Anthony Davis put up numbers in that playoff run.
401 wins. That's not a number. That's not good enough.
I'm not saying that Ozzy doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of
Win
Fame.
40
They're
games
both
a
gonna
year
go.
for 10 years,
They're
Flannel, and
both-
you're still not there.
They're both going to go. Why is this even a conversation?
might not.
Now, Ozzy might not go, but Anthony Davis is going to go. And if any of you people in the audience actually say that Anthony Davis isn't a Hall of Famer, your IQ is in the single digits. That's factual.
Kevin Bell
Stop
says
hating.
Anthony Davis takes every other game off, though.
He doesn't take every other game off. Factually, he doesn't. Stop lying.
Ozzy's more deserving.
Oh, come on. You're an NBA fan, Spen. Well, and for the record, I think that Chris Osgood should be in the Hall of Fame, but so should Anthony Davis.
I'm not saying Anthony Davis shouldn't. I'm just saying Ozzy's more deserving.
The away fan, 3 Stanley Cups, 2 Jennings Awards, 50 shutouts, 1 goal, 19 assists. He never missed the playoffs when he was a goalie in the NHL. And then Aaron Raymond says AD had to ride LeBron to a title.
Okay, but AD was probably the best Robin for a playoff run LeBron has ever had. And AD has had a damn good career. 4-time first-team All-NBAs. Do you know that that's the same amount as Steph Curry? One more than Nikola Jokic. That's just factual.
Okay.
That's factual.
I know, and we're seeing it tonight. Clearly, AD has been better than Jokic in this series.
He has
Clearly.
not been, but he hasn't been as much worse than you think.
Okay, I know, especially when he's down 20. Jokic has never been down 20, so we don't know what he's done.
Yeah, but
when they're down 20.
D'Angelo Russell is shooting 14.3% from 3, and KCP and Bruce Brown are both shooting over 40. Michael Porter almost
Right,
50.
because they have to account for Jokic.
Jamal Murray is
and
having,
who runs that offense?
Nikola Jokic.
As a center, wow.
He's great.
Wild.
I love Nikola Jokic.
That's wild. Real quick, Rada brings us up. And Spenny, forgive me, I didn't get your take on this. Carmelo Anthony retired today. It's a sad day in the Raxy Raxter household.
It is. It is a sad day. It's a sad day. He's a legend. Also, first ballot Hall of Famer. And, it was about time. It was, he wasn't getting any play. He had a good run, man. I'm sad he never got his chip, but it is what it is. He got his own chip by himself in college. So, sad day for him, but we all saw this coming.
He saved Jim Boeheim's ass.
Yes, he did.
He absolutely did. Anthony Davis or Carmelo Anthony?
When it's all said and done, absolutely Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Anthony Davis or
Do you
the
agree
best
with
Robin LeBron's ever had?
In terms of resume,
Dwayne
Anthony
Wade.
Davis.
Dwayne Wade for sure, but
If you're asking me Anthony Davis or Dwayne Wade in terms of basketball resume, I'll say Dwayne Wade.
1,000% Dwayne Wade. Yeah, if you didn't say Dwayne Wade, I would have cut the stream off.
It's not. It's closer than you think, though.
No, it's
It'll
not.
be yes.
No, it's not.
Chuck Brewer
Is Anthony
says.
Davis the second best player or third best player in position
Absolutely
in the
not.
history, NBA history? Because
Absolutely
Dwayne
not.
Wade is the third best shooting guard in the history of the NBA.
Absolutely. No disagreement.
Chuck Brewer says, now Sam thinks he's better than his audience. That's a great look.
I mean, if you think Anthony Davis is not a Hall of Famer, then yes, I am better than you as a human being, and I will say that. Then you guys are just hating. Blind haters drinking in the propaganda. I am better than you if you believe that.
I think that's a good place to stop, everybody. Mercifully, DMAC will be back tomorrow. Until then, for BMG, for Raxy Raxter, for Parky Parker, and Flannel. My name's Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.